Have you ever felt the loneliest, not when you are alone, but when you are surrounded by people you know? It is an indescribable feeling, as if the world outside is too noisy, but inside you there is an endless emptiness. So what makes us feel that way? Does this loneliness stem from the lack of people around us, or from a deeper cause, the fact that we have not truly understood and connected with ourselves? In this video, I will share with you 6 profound lessons from Buddhist philosophy, helping you not only understand the origin of loneliness, but also learn how to transform it into inner strength. These lessons are not only spiritual, but also extremely practical and easy to apply, bringing peace and connection to your daily life. From finding yourself, building sincere relationships, to overcoming insecurities, each idea will be a small but powerful step on your journey. So are you ready to uncover these secrets and change the way you look at loneliness? Let's get started. Before we dive into the 6 lessons from Buddhist philosophy, let me share a story that perfectly illustrates the roots of loneliness and how it can become a powerful teacher. On a remote mountain, a young seeker had left behind his family, friends, and all worldly attachments to pursue enlightenment. In the early days, he felt liberated, as though the weight of life's burdens had been lifted. But over time, an unfamiliar emptiness began to seep into his heart, disrupting his meditations and clouding his mind with unease. Overwhelmed by the growing sense of loneliness, the seeker sought guidance from the Buddha himself. Bowing respectfully, he asked, "Master, I have renounced everything to follow the path of truth. Yet in this silence, I feel lonelier than ever. How can I overcome this feeling?" The Buddha looked at him with compassion and replied, "My child, are you sure your loneliness stems from the absence of others? Or could it be that you have yet to truly connect with yourself?" The seeker, puzzled, asked, "How can loneliness come from within, great teacher?" The Buddha explained, "Loneliness is not the result of lacking people or things. It is a state of mind born from a disconnection with one's own being. When you sit alone and your mind feels unsettled, it is a sign that you have not yet understood yourself. But if you realize that you are already complete in every moment, loneliness will dissolve into an illusion." The seeker listened intently as the Buddha continued, "Your mind's restlessness comes from desires, fears, and comparisons. When you stop searching for fulfillment outside yourself, when you learn to live fully in each breath and each heartbeat, you will see that you have never been truly alone." Returning to his meditation hut, the seeker followed the Buddha's advice. Instead of resisting the silence, he embraced it. He focused on his breath, on the stillness of the present moment, and on discovering the connection within himself. Over time, the heavy burden of loneliness gave way to an unexpected peace. The seeker realized that when he stopped seeking completeness outside, he found it within. He no longer feared solitude, for he now understood that in being present with himself, he was also connected to the entire universe. Now, as we move into the 6 root causes of loneliness, let's keep this story in mind. It reminds us that what may feel like isolation is often an invitation to connect with something deeper, ourselves. So, what exactly makes us feel lonely, and how can we overcome it? Let's explore these profound lessons together. 1. Losing connection with yourself. The story of the seeker reminds us that loneliness is not always about the absence of others. It often stems from something deeper, a disconnection with ourselves. In today's busy world, where external noise constantly demands our attention, it's easy to forget who we are beyond the roles we play or the expectations we try to meet. We get so consumed by deadlines, social media, and the opinions of others that our relationship with our inner self starts to fade. When we lose this connection, even the most crowded room can feel unbearably lonely. Buddhist wisdom offers a profound insight into this. Create peace within yourself, and the world will become peaceful. This teaching emphasizes that true contentment begins inside. When we nurture our inner peace, it not only transforms how we feel about ourselves, but also reshapes how we perceive the world around us. To rebuild this connection, we need to pause and intentionally turn inward. The root of our disconnection lies in neglecting our inner world, our thoughts, feelings, and values. Reconnecting starts with taking small, mindful actions to tune into ourselves. You can spend 5 minutes each morning sitting quietly, focusing on your breath. You don't need a perfect meditation setup or hours of free time. Just close your eyes and observe the sensations of your breathing. If your thoughts wander, gently guide them back to the rhythm of your breath. This simple act helps you ground yourself in the present moment and starts rebuilding the bridge to your inner self. Beyond meditation, journaling can also be a powerful tool. Write down your thoughts without judgment, your fears, dreams, and even random musings. By putting your inner dialogue onto paper, you begin to understand yourself more clearly. Take a walk alone in nature, free of distractions, and notice how it feels to be present with just your own company. These small steps may seem trivial, but their impact is profound when practiced consistently. The benefits of reconnecting with yourself are transformative. As you cultivate inner peace, you'll notice a newfound sense of confidence and clarity in your daily life. Decision-making becomes easier because you're more in tune with your values. Relationships feel more authentic because you're not seeking validation from others to feel whole. Most importantly, the heavy weight of loneliness begins to lift, replaced by a deep sense of contentment and self-awareness. Reconnecting with yourself is the first foundation for overcoming loneliness, as the seeker discovered. When you learn to be your own anchor, you'll find that the peace you create within radiates outward, transforming not just your inner world, but also the way you interact with everything around you. Now that we've explored this first cause, let's delve into the next: the longing for external validation and why it often leads to disappointment. 2. The desire for validation. As we deepen our connection with ourselves, we uncover a common obstacle that often fuels loneliness: the desire for validation. In our pursuit of approval from others, we unintentionally place our self-worth in their hands. This desire becomes a constant chase for praise, recognition, and acceptance, which can lead to frustration and disappointment when others fail to meet our expectations. Over time, we lose sight of our intrinsic value, believing that it's something external rather than innate. Buddhist wisdom teaches us, happiness does not come from pleasing others, but from the love you give yourself. This principle highlights the importance of turning inward to find the fulfillment we seek. When we prioritize self-love over external validation, we reclaim our power to define our worth on our own terms. To break free from the cycle of seeking validation, start by practicing self-compassion. Whenever you feel the urge to impress others, pause and ask yourself, what do I need to hear from myself right now? Write down affirmations that celebrate your strengths and efforts, no matter how small they seem. For example, instead of waiting for others to notice your hard work, tell yourself, I'm proud of the effort I put into this. Gradually, you'll begin to rely less on external feedback and more on your own inner support. Another practical step is to set boundaries. Often, the desire for validation leads us to overcommit, say yes when we mean no, or prioritize others' needs over our own. By learning to say no when necessary, you preserve your energy for what truly matters to you. Start with small actions, like declining tasks that don't align with your goals or taking time to recharge without feeling guilty. Setting boundaries is a profound act of self-respect that strengthens your inner peace. The transformation that comes from letting go of the need for validation is life-changing. You'll find yourself feeling freer and more confident, unburdened by the constant worry of meeting others' expectations. Relationships become healthier as they are no longer based on seeking approval, but on mutual respect and authenticity. Most importantly, You create a space where you can thrive emotionally, focusing on your growth and happiness without external pressure. As we learn to validate ourselves, we begin to notice how much lighter life feels. The weight of constantly seeking approval lifts, replaced by a steady sense of contentment. 3. Unrealistic Comparisons and Expectations. The tendency to compare ourselves to others and hold ourselves to unrealistic expectations is another barrier as we move beyond the desire for validation. In a world driven by social media and constant visibility, it's easy to measure our worth against someone else's curated highlights. We see their achievements, relationships, or lifestyles, and wonder why ours don't measure up. This habit can lead to dissatisfaction, self-doubt, and an endless pursuit of unattainable ideals. Buddha reminds us, you must be the one to find meaning in your own world. This teaching encourages us to turn our focus inward, to find fulfillment in our unique journey rather than seeking it through comparisons. Life is not a race. Each person's path unfolds differently, with its own challenges, lessons, and timing. To let go of comparisons, start by practicing gratitude for where you are right now. Each morning, write down 3 things you appreciate about your current situation, no matter how small. For instance, you might express gratitude for the opportunities you have, the relationships you cherish, or the progress you've made, even if it feels incremental. Gratitude shifts your attention from what you lack to what you already have, fostering a sense of abundance. Another practical approach is to set realistic, personal goals that align with your values rather than external standards. Ask yourself, what is one step I can take today that brings me closer to my vision for myself? Break larger goals into smaller, achievable steps and celebrate each milestone. By focusing on your own progress, you'll start to see your journey as valuable and uniquely yours, rather than a reflection of others' paths. The benefits of releasing comparisons and unrealistic expectations are profound. You'll find greater self-confidence as you're no longer measuring yourself against an impossible standard. You'll experience more joy in your accomplishments, no matter how small, because they are meaningful to you. Most importantly, you'll begin to appreciate the richness of your own life, free from the weight of others' opinions or achievements. You will understand that you don't have to compare your chapter 5 to theirs chapter 20 in life. When we stop comparing ourselves to others, we create space to fully embrace who we are and where we're headed. This freedom allows us to grow at our own pace, with clarity and authenticity. 4. Insincere friends around you. Letting go of comparisons allows us to appreciate our unique journey, but loneliness can persist when the people around us lack sincerity. Have you ever found yourself feeling out of place in a group of friends? Or have you ever felt lonely, even though everyone was laughing and having a good time? Or have you ever felt like you had to act like you weren't yourself in order to be accepted as part of the crowd? If so, it means you may be in relationships that don't align with your values. Relationships built on superficiality, manipulation, or benefit can leave us feeling misunderstood and unsupported. Instead of fostering connection, these relationships drain our energy and deepen the sense of isolation, as we cannot truly be ourselves. Buddhist wisdom reminds us, an insincere relationship is like a dying tree. It can neither provide shade nor bear fruit. This teaching highlights the importance of surrounding ourselves with genuine connections, people who uplift us and provide mutual understanding and respect. True friendship nourishes the soul, offering a safe space to share our joys, struggles, and growth. To identify and nurture sincere relationships, start by observing the interactions in your life. Are your conversations with certain people balanced and meaningful, or do they leave you feeling judged or unimportant? Focus on deepening bonds with those who listen without judgment, celebrate your successes without envy, and stand by you during challenges. One practical step is to communicate honestly. Share your thoughts and feelings openly with those you trust and encourage them to do the same. Additionally, be mindful of reciprocation. Invest time and care into the relationships that matter to you, but don't exhaust yourself on those that feel one-sided. As you focus on building authentic relationships, you'll experience profound benefits. Genuine connections bring a sense of belonging, reducing feelings of loneliness. They also provide emotional support, helping you navigate life's ups and downs with greater resilience. Most importantly, sincere friendships create a space where you can be your true self, free from pretenses or expectations. When we choose quality over quantity in our relationships, we create an environment that fosters emotional well-being and growth. 5. Overdependence on relationships. Building sincere connections enriches our lives, but even genuine relationships can become a source of loneliness if we depend on them too heavily for our happiness. Overdependence creates an imbalance where we expect others to fulfill emotional needs that we should cultivate within ourselves. When those expectations aren't met, whether due to misunderstandings, absence, or natural changes in the relationship, we can feel abandoned and isolated, reinforcing the very loneliness we hope to avoid. Buddhist teachings remind us of the importance of self-reliance. Rely on yourself and not on others. This wisdom emphasizes that while relationships are valuable, our sense of peace and fulfillment must ultimately come from within. When we learn to be our own anchor, we free ourselves from the emotional instability caused by depending too much on others. To reduce overdependence, start by fostering a strong relationship with yourself. Dedicate time each day to activities that nurture your independence and self-confidence. For example, take 15 minutes before bed to think about what you accomplished during the day. Give yourself credit if you achieved your goals, and comfort yourself if something fell short of your expectations. This practice helps you build inner strength and resilience, making you less reliant on external validation. When faced with a difficulty or failure, instead of blaming or judging yourself, ask yourself, "What would a good friend say to me in this situation?" And say encouraging words to yourself. Be a good friend to yourself first. Another practical step is to cultivate hobbies or interests that you pursue independently. Whether it's reading, painting, gardening, or learning a new skill, these activities allow you to find joy and purpose that don't depend on anyone else. By engaging in something that excites and challenges you, you develop a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment that is entirely your own. You'll find that your relationships improve because they're no longer burdened by excessive expectations. Instead of clinging to others for support, you'll approach relationships with a sense of generosity and mutual respect. This shift creates healthier, more balanced connections while also fostering personal growth and emotional stability. When we stop leaning too heavily on others, we discover a profound inner strength that sustains us through life's ups and downs. This self-reliance not only diminishes loneliness, but also deepens our appreciation for the relationships we do have. 6. Misunderstanding the meaning of solitude. Learning to reduce overdependence on relationships brings us closer to self-reliance, but another critical factor often misunderstood in the journey to overcome loneliness is silence. Many of us view silence as a void, associating it with isolation or rejection. We fear quiet moments, filling them with distractions or conversations to escape the discomfort of being alone with our thoughts. However, this misunderstanding of silence keeps us from recognizing its profound ability to heal and connect us with ourselves. Buddha teaches us, in silence, we discover ourselves. This principle highlights that silence isn't emptiness, but a space where we can truly listen to our thoughts, our emotions, and the truths within us. It's in the quiet moments that we begin to untangle the complexities of our minds, shedding the noise of the world and uncovering clarity and peace. To embrace silence, begin by setting aside a few minutes each day to be still. Find a quiet place where you won't be interrupted. Close your eyes and take deep breaths. As you settle into the stillness, notice the sounds around you, the rhythm of your breathing, and the sensations in your body. Allow thoughts to come and go without clinging to them. This practice, known as mindfulness meditation, helps you reframe silence as a comforting and enriching experience rather than something to fear. Another simple way to embrace silence is to disconnect from external noise, such as turning off your phone or stepping away from social media for a short period. Use this time to reflect, write in a journal, or simply observe the world around you. Over time, you'll find that these moments of quiet not only calm your mind, but also deepen your understanding of yourself. The benefits of embracing silence are profound. When you no longer view quiet moments as lonely or empty, they become a source of strength and clarity. Silence allows you to process emotions, recharge mentally, and cultivate self-awareness. It creates space for creativity, insight, and problem-solving that is often drowned out by constant stimulation. Most importantly, silence connects you to your true self, fostering a sense of completeness that diminishes the need for external validation. As we transform our perception of silence, we unlock its power to enrich our lives and strengthen our inner peace. By embracing stillness, we discover that it is not an absence, but a presence, one that allows us to be fully attuned to ourselves and the world around us. So at its core, this video has explored a profound truth. Loneliness isn't about the absence of people. It's about the absence of connection, both with ourselves and with the world around us. Even in a crowded room, we can feel isolated if we're disconnected from our inner peace, entangled in comparisons, or surrounded by relationships that lack authenticity. The teachings we've uncovered today remind us that the solution to loneliness doesn't lie outside. It begins within. By reconnecting with ourselves, letting go of the need for approval, embracing meaningful connections, and finding strength in solitude and silence, we can transform loneliness into an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. When we understand this, the presence or absence of others no longer defines our sense of belonging. Instead, we find that we are already whole, complete, and connected in the truest sense. So the next time you feel the ache of loneliness, even in the midst of others, remember that it's an invitation to turn inward. To ask yourself, am I truly connected to myself? Because when we find that connection, we discover that we've never been truly alone. But remember, this is only the beginning. Each step you take on this path opens the door to new insights, greater peace, and a stronger connection with yourself and the world around you. The teachings of Buddhism are a treasure trove of wisdom, offering tools and perspectives to help us navigate the complexities of life. I encourage you to not only implement the lessons from this video, but to dive further into the teachings of the Buddha and discover what resonates most with your unique journey. As you move forward, ask yourself, what does it truly mean to find peace within? This is a question worth sitting with, one that could lead to remarkable discoveries. In fact, it might just be the topic of our other conversation, how to cultivate inner peace in a chaotic world. Your journey toward a life of deeper connection and meaning is just beginning, and I'm honored to walk it with you. Until next time, take a moment to breathe, reflect, and reconnect with the beauty within you. If today's video sparked something within you, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who might need it. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.